One player taking home $1 million guaranteed. Marvel presents the Noah Syndergaard as Thor bobblehead on Saturday night, August 4th, to the first 25,000 fans in attendance, courtesy of Citi. Last year's Thor bobblehead was named the #1 promotion in baseball by MLB and the #1 bobblehead in Mets history by SNY.TV. Don't miss out on this season's most exclusive item. Go to Mets.com/tickets to purchase your seats today. Now time for Lowe's whole team together. Hit leaders for the Mets as Dribble Cabrera with 101. Far more than anybody else. I'd be shocked to see him at Rosario. #2 on that list. He's in the leadoff spot again tonight for the Mets with his late resurgence. Beautiful night in Pittsburgh. Mets and Pirates opening a 4-game series. First pitch is coming right up. Rosario hits leadoff for the 4th straight day. Jeff Mcneil makes his first major league start. After 2 successful pinch hitting assignments, he'll play third base and bat 7th. Brandon Nimmo moves up to 5th in the batting order against the right-hander tonight.
And there's the right-hander. That would be Nick Kingham. His 11th start. He's been up and down this season, but he's got a 3-game win streak from Houston, Texas. 26 years of age, and another tall starter, 6'5", 225 pounds. And the Jeep starting infield for the Pirates. Francisco Cervelli had so many issues with concussion. He is back off the DL. He's missed a lot of time. This is his first start. And out in the outfield, you've got Sean Rodriguez in center field because Marte is hurt. Not hurt, but he got hit on the wrist last night's ball game. His 8th career start in center field, 4th this season for the Pirates.
The view from our perch at PNC Park, across the river, downtown Pittsburgh, the Clemente Bridge. The Andy Warhol Bridge right next to it. This is as good a view as there is anywhere in baseball.
And they stopped the traffic over the Clemente Bridge. I don't know, about an hour and a half before game time. I'm not sure. And the people can walk from downtown. Your view is so spectacular. This is just such a treat. It's so much an upgrade from Three Rivers Stadium.
However, the Pirates have not been drawing well this year. They're averaging just 18,000 in opening. The hope is that with this recent hot streak, maybe the folks will come back. Ahmed Rosario set to lead off against Nick Kingham, and his first pitch of the night is a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. Rosario over the last 11 games hitting .350. He's up to season average to .249. Nick Kingham making just his 11th big league start. And he comes inside to Rosario 1-1. Kingham began his big league career with a bang. April 29th, he made his first start against the Cardinals. 6 no-hit innings, wound up going 7, allowing just 1 hit in his first start out of the box. And he misses high to Rosario, 2 balls and a strike. Kingham's been up and down several times since then. His last start Saturday against Cincinnati, a very good one, pitched into the 7th inning. Gave up just 2 runs.
Oh, nice breaking ball there. Talked to Steve Blass, the former World Series hero for the Pirates, the starting pitchers. He asked about Kingham's stuff. He said nothing really spectacular. He's not overpowering, but he has good command.
Slow bouncer, tough play for David Freese. Bare hands and fires. Close play, safe. And that one may be one that the Pirates want to challenge. Close play at first. Look and listen for the first base umpire Nick Lentz, who called Rosario safe, and we'll see if the Pirates decide to challenge.
Well, the bare hand by Freese. Nothing better you can do there. And let's see if it. Oh, Gary.
He might be out.
He might be.
And the Pirates are going to challenge right out of the box. First play of the game. David Freese making a nice play against the speed of Rosario. He did everything he could. Bell gave him a half stretch, not really much.
Oh, I think they got him, Gary.
Yeah, I think he's out.
Well, here you are. You're a pitcher. Nick Kingham out there. You throw a couple pitches and you got to sit and wait.
So it's back to the folks in Chelsea, and they don't take much time to overturn the call. Rosario is out, and that's the first out of the night. Gary Cedarstrom's crew and Danny DeMuth's crew are in the replay center in Chelsea. And they were quick with that one. Clint Hurdle now in his 8th year managing the Pirates. Got into the postseason 3 years in a row, 2013, 14, and 15. Losing records each of the last 2 years, and they looked like they were destined for another until this recent hot stretch that's seen them won 13 of 15. Here's Cabrera. And his dribble takes just off the plate with a fastball for ball 1.
Well, if you would start that 2-week stretch, they were 7 games under 500 and only a game and a half in front of the last place division Cincinnati Reds.
Grounded down to Bell at first. Cabrera did not run, and Bell retires him for the second out. I'm not sure whether his dribble thought that ball was going to be foul or he got hung up in the batter's box, but he did not get out cleanly.
I think a combination of both.
No, he just watched it.
He watched. He thought it was going to go foul.
No good. Well, Cabrera has been struggling lately as his days tick down toward a possible trade. Trading deadline just 5 days away, and he would be one of those guys you would be fairly confident is going to be dealt before the deadline, and he's just 1 for his last 17 as we approach it. Michael Conforto takes a fastball for a strike. Conforto took an 0 for yesterday after exploding out of the box coming out of the All-Star break. Still 7 for 18 with 2 home runs since the break.
How did he hit the ball yesterday, Gary? I did not see the game.
Good changeup by Kingham. He hit a soft liner, a ground out, and 2 strikeouts. So it was not a good day for him.
Well, you know what? You can't do it every day.
You did?
Well,
most days.
Oh, I had my bad moments.
Yeah, but they were so few and far between. Conforto lifts one out to right field. Polanco going back to the warning track, back at the wall, and jumps, and it's off the fence. Conforto around second, and he'll stop there with a 2-out double. That 21-foot fence in right field, and he hit it about 12 feet up, right near the retired number of Roberto Clemente. And Conforto winds up with a double.
Off the screen there. And that is a one-handed changeup. That's how strong Conforto is. That's 375 right there. That's a legitimate gap. This ballpark plays fair, that's for sure.
Ball carried well out to right field, so Conforto has his 12th double of the year, and Wilmer Flores bats with a runner in scoring position. Wilmer just 3 for 18 since the break, and he takes a slider for a strike.
Yeah, Wilmer's been in a little bit of a funk of late. Hasn't really been sharp at the plate.
Flies this one toward the left field corner. Back goes Luplow onto the warning track at the wall. It's out of here. Wilmer Flores got it high in the air and dumped it into the short porch in left field for a 2-run homer, his 9th of the year. And just like that, the Mets are out to a 2-0 lead.
Well, 2 balls, a one-handed double off the bat of Conforto, and then Wilmer got under this ball. Sinker. He didn't get under it that much. He's not sure.
This is similar to the ball that Cespedes hit at Yankee Stadium, right? Very high in the air, right down the line. And the ballpark not big enough to hold it as Luplow made a fruitless jump at the fence. And so the Mets are out fast, 2-0.
It's 325 down that left field line, and it really angles in sharply from the gap. And that is a home run anywhere you slice it.
Nimmo, who batted 7th the last 3 days against left-handers, moved up to 5th in the order today against the right-hander. It's been a struggle for Brandon over the last 24 games, hitting just 163. His average for the season down to 249.
Yeah, he's been mired in a slump and striking out way too much. He's got 99 punches.
4-pitch walk, and Brandon's aboard to continue the inning. So after Kingham got 2 quick outs on ground balls, double home run walk, and now Jose Bautista will come up with a man on. Bautista yesterday hit his 8th home run of the year, number 339 of his career, which is significant because it puts him in the top 100 all time. Tied for 99th place on the all-time home run list.
I remember him a long time ago in a Pirate uniform.
Yes, indeed. Played 4 years here as a utility guy, waited and come of age as a player until he left here and went to Toronto. Of course, he was a Met too for about 5 minutes. Wired him from Kansas City and then dealt him to Pittsburgh in the Chris Benson deal. It's a long time ago. And Kingham misses away with a fastball, and it's 1-1. 3 infielders on the left side against Bautista, against the Pirates, who shift a lot, and that's line to center field. That'll be down for a base hit. Nimmo pulls in at second. So 4 straight Mets have reached base after 2 out and nobody on.
Well, you got 6 trips to the mound in the course of the game, and you got a young pitcher out there. Go out and have a chat with him, and there goes Ray Surge right now. Because he was throwing just fine, and I think he got a little bit rattled with the 2-run shot up off the bat of Wilmer.
Ray Surge wearing the jacket on an 83 degrees, somewhat humid night.
Maybe he's got a tip on a snowstorm.
He's dressed like Mike Puma. Our friend Puma's wearing a jacket in the press box tonight. That's why I mentioned that.
I look forward to Mike's tweets tonight.
Ray Surge, who has a great place in Mets history, 1,000 winning percentage, 1,000 batting average in his Mets career. I like to mention that every time we're here. So now Jeff Mcneil getting his first big league start. He's had 2 plate appearances, a single and a walk, both as a pinch hitter, and now a chance to drive in his first run. And he takes one in the dirt. Ball 1. McNeil, who was tearing it up at Double-A, then sent up to Triple-A and excelled there as well. 342, 19 homers, 71 RBIs in 88 minor league games.
That's a fine season in any league.
at age 26, finally getting a crack and trying to take advantage.
Well, the first year he hit home runs too, Gary. He had 5 seasons prior to this year in the minor leagues, and the most home runs he ever hit in a season were 3. So the 19 all of a sudden is, I mean, that's an eye-opener.
He had all sorts of injuries that derailed him along the way, but he has found his spot here, and he rolls that one to the second baseman Harrison. Mcneil retired for the first time in the big leagues. Inning over, but the Mets get 2 on the Flores home run. No Corey Dickerson, hamstring. No Starling Marte, hit on the hand by a pitch. So Jordan Luplow and Sean Rodriguez both play in the Pirate outfield. Compromises their offense somewhat as they take on Steven Matz for the second time this year.
His Land Rover numbers coming off a so-so start at Yankee Stadium. He's been much better on the road. Of his 19 career wins, 12 are on the road.
Jordan Luplow leads off for the Pirates, just his 5th start, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Luplow just 4 for 22, had some big league time last year, hit 23 minor league home runs last year, was named the Pirates minor league player of the year. 24 years old out of Fresno State, and he takes up and away 1-1. And the great nephew of former Met and Pirate Al Luplow.
And
well, Al Luplow, in my memory, is associated with one play. It was 1967. The Mets were playing the Pirates at Forbes Field after they had traded Al Luplow.
What year was this?
1967. Juan Pizarro, the lefty, was on the mound, and so Buddy Harrelson was up batting right-handed. Luplow takes a rip and comes up empty for strike 3. So Matz has a strikeout against his first batter. Anyway, Buddy slices a ball to right field. Al Luplow's playing right field, makes a diving attempt. Ball goes by him, rolls to the wall. Buddy gets an inside the park home run. First home run of the season in August. You know, Buddy didn't hit a lot of home runs.
No.
So, and he was my favorite player, so that was really memorable.
Buddy, a little spark plug.
I wish Buddy the best. And it's home in Long Island. Here's Josh Harrison. He takes a strike.
Let me tell you, Buddy was a great third base coach as well. I had the great good fortune of having 3 terrific third base coaches over my 17 years. That would be Preston Gomez, Buddy Harrelson, and Bobby Valentine. And no slight to the others. They were just extraordinary third base coaches.
Mets have been blessed with a lot of really good third base coaches over the years.
Cookie Rojas.
Eddie Yost was a terrific third base coach back in when Gil Hodges was managing. So they've been through a number of really good ones. 2-2 to Josh Harrison, who always seems to kill the Mets. And Matz misses inside with the fastball. 3-2. Harrison 311 lifetime against the Mets, better than that recently, but he's had a rough year. Just 254, only 5 home runs. Last year hit 272, 16 home runs. Had a broken hand this year, cost him a month. And Matt strikes him out on a high fastball. And Steven has back-to-back strikeouts to start his night.
High cheese, and he got it on the outside corner. And the Mets Lexus starting infield. Mesoraco starting again. Mcneil getting a start at third base. He's already grounded out, but looking forward to watching him get a lot of playing time, and that outfield has been pretty steady with that trio right there.
Mets are facing 4 right-handed pitchers in this series, so there's every chance Mcneil will get some steady playing time now. Here's Gregory Polanco, who had a great series against the Mets in New York. Pirates took 2 out of 3 from the Mets in June. Polanco went 5 for 10 in that series with a couple of home runs.
And Polanco, not a tremendous batting average, but got hot too lately right now, and this stretch that they've had raised his average to 235, so he was really having a tough season.
7 RBIs in his last 4 games, 58 for the year. And Steven comes up and in 2-1.
Steven's throwing hard today. This is one time where I'll believe the gun. I can tell he's got a little extra zing to that fastball.
I think you need some more consistent belief. Either you're for the gun or you're against the gun.
I'm cynical.
You're selective. 3-1 to Polanco.
I'm a visual person. I'm visual. I can tell when someone's throwing hard from that center field camera.
Here's Freese hitting cleanup tonight, waiting on deck. Matt's behind 3-1, and he takes ball 4. Polanco's on with the 2-out walk.
Well, we talked in the open about this current streak the Pirates are on, and Gary, you can go ahead and give the umps.
Well, you can do that too.
All right. Well, there's John Tumpane right there with the mask on behind the plate. Nick Lentz at first, crew chief Mark Wegner, and third base is Dan Bellino.
So you were saying?
Oh, the outfield has been
interrupted yourself.
The big trio has been in the outfield for the Pirates have been wearing it out. And 2 of them are out of the lineup. Corey Dickerson's a left-hand hitter. I don't know if he would have started off of Matt's, but Starlin Marte got hit in last night's game on the hand, and he's missed. He's out today. But they have been the guys that have kind of powered this offense. 31 home runs in July, second to the Yankees. This trio out there in the outfield for the Pirates.
And they've had some other folks chip in as well. Freese is hitting 317 in the month of July. Jordy Mercer's been red hot, so they've had a lot of contributors. During their 11-game winning streak, they scored 73 runs and allowed only 24. So they also pitched really well during that stretch, played some fine defense, and now the question is, can they sustain it, and can they convince management that they're a contender before Tuesday? That's driven deep to right center field. Back in the gap, Nimmo takes a look, and it's out of here. David Freese ties the game with a 2-run homer on an 0-2 pitch. And just like that, we're back even. Freese's 6th home run of the year, and it's 2-2. Freese contributed one of the most famous strikeouts in Mets history against the left-hander. This time takes the lefty deep.
Opposite field. And no doubt about it.
So each pitcher retired the first 2 hitters. Each pitcher has given up an extra base hit on an 0-2 pitch. A rollicking start in Pittsburgh. Josh Bell, the switch hitting first baseman, takes inside, a ball and a strike. Bell not putting up nearly the numbers he did as a rookie last year. He had 26 home runs last year, finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year balloting.
Has yet to hit a home run from the right side of the plate. There's Matt pounding that inside corner on the righties. Well, I felt that Bell had a long swing last year, Gary. Here's the home run again. Two-seam fastball. Too much plate. And up.
2-2 to Bell. And he got him looking at a fastball to end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Matz, but in between a walk and a 2-run homer for David Freese. And this is a 2-2 game as we go to the second. Two game. Devin Mesoraco leads off against Nick Kingham and lays off a breaking ball. Mesoraco last played on Tuesday night. He had a 3-run double in the first inning of that game. They got the Mets off to a fast start. Mets are looking for their 3rd straight win tonight after taking the last 2 from San Diego, winning a series for the first time since the middle of May. Sorry you missed that yesterday. Keith.
I just barely got out ahead of you guys. Out of LaGuardia.
Close pitch misses. 3-0 to Mesoraco. So you were relaxing here in Pittsburgh while we were waiting to take off for 4 hours.
I was at Morton's right across the street from the hotel, a half block away, watching the Red Sox Oriole game and watching it get washed out.
Right. Much to the dismay of the Red Sox with a 5-0 lead.
Yes, and I got home back to the room, I read, fell asleep, put my do not disturb sign on. Phone rings around 11:15, wakes me up, and it's the bellman saying, "Do you want your bags?" I said, "Well, I got the do not disturb sign on," and I said, "The team just got in right now," and he said, "Just around 40 minutes ago." I went, "Oh my gosh."
Now you know how you could have avoided that entire episode, avoided being woken up, really gotten your full night's sleep. You could have brought your own bag with you. You know, if you took a commercial flight, they do allow you to check luggage.
Kevin Kirst, the clubhouse man down there, I brought it a day early. I had no issues. Just walked right through security to the gate.
That's bunts foul. Steven has 3 hits and 3 sacrifices this year.
I did see the 2 Delta charter flights because it's a family trip here, and a lot of kids and wives are on this trip for the players. So it required 2 planes, and there was only 1. I thought there was 2.
No.
That would be, that's a little excessive, isn't it?
I don't know where you got that from.
I'll tell you where I got it from. I saw as we taxied out, we got run off the runway.
Maybe it was the Padres plane.
We were taxiing on the route to take off over Rikers Island out into Long Island Sound. And halfway back, we got all these planes in front of us. They've diverted started the plane in front of us all the way around the LaGuardia to the runway that takes you off towards New York City. So we got right out. Lucky.
You are lucky.
But we taxied by your airplane, and I waved.
We probably weren't even on the airplane.
You weren't there.
The game was probably still going on at that point.
You were not there. You were not even there.
Just happy that you got here early, had a good dinner. Matz drives one to left, but Luplo is there and picks it off for the end. And Mesoraco racing back, and he gets there safely as that ball eluded Josh Bell. Mesoraco almost got himself doubled off on that shallow line drive.
What did he think? It was hit harder? I initially thought this ball had a chance, was hit harder myself. Oh my goodness, he could have been doubled up big time.
So Mesoraco still at first with one out, and now Ahmed Rosario, who grounded out to short his first time up. And Ahmed thinking about a bunt with Freese playing in, and he takes a strike. Rosario, during the series against San Diego, picked up his first bunt hit of the season, and it is something that they have been working with him on doing more. Not only will that net him a few more hits with the bunt, but it'll also draw the third baseman in.
Precisely. And that opens up a nice little hole between third and short. And also it give you something down the line too, Gary. Think about it.
Oh, I've thought about it, Keith. I think it's a great idea. 1-2 to Rosario.
For the last 120 something years.
Flop the bunt, bring it in, bring him in, hit a by.
How many years now of professional baseball?
1876, the Cincinnati Redlegs, or the National League started. It's 1869, Cincinnati, first professional team. Kingham handles the ground ball and throws out Rosario. Mesoraco to second with 2 out. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get New York Mets home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stat news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. So a runner in scoring position with 2 out for Cabrera, who grounded out weakly to first base and did not make much of an effort to run in the first inning. As Grubel now 1 for his last 17. Kingham places one on the outside corner, 0-1.
He's got a nice sinking changeup to the left-hander. That's a good pitch.
Time asked for, but not granted, and the pitch missed.
I think it was granted.
Was it?
I think it was. I thought I saw the umpire put his hands up, or I heard his voice.
Okay.
Yep.
So he did.
Yep.
He took it down pretty quickly then. So it stays 0-1 to Cabrera.
Ooh, nice.
Foul tips that one. A ball running in on him. 0-2.
Good little cut right there. Late. Wasn't a strike. Put a little something extra on it. Good pitch.
Nick Kingham, 26 years old, drafted out of high school in 2010. Would have been here sooner, but for Tommy John surgery that cost him a season and a half. That's hooked in the air to deep right field. Back goes Polanco toward the corner, looking up, and it's off the wall. Mesoraco in to score. Cabrera digging for second. He slides in safely with an RBI double, and the Mets go back in front 3-2. Another extra base hit on an 0-2 pitch. This time it's Cabrera with his 22nd double of the year, and he puts the Mets back in front.
Another extra base hit to the left-hander on a changeup. So Kingham has to get that changeup away. Conforto in the first inning doubled in the right center field gap on a similar pitch. So he has to establish more inside to the lefties.
And now Conforto pops one up foul. That'll come back out of play. So first Conforto and now Cabrera with doubles off the wall and right on 0-2 changeups.
Oh, he's got a spike grip here, and that might be a little backdoor curve. That's what it is.
Okay.
And see, it came over the middle. It's not that easy to throw that backdoor, Gary. Just ask our producer, Greg Picker.
What would he know about that? You mean the former Vermont Catamount right-hander?
Yes, the flamethrower.
What, he hit 82 on the gun?
Oh,
79.
79 the gun, but he had to have some movement.
Tight to Conforto 1-2. Wouldn't you have loved to have faced him?
Well,
Pick says he would have brushed you back. That's what Ronnie always says. The guys who don't throw hard, they have to throw inside more.
Then they do. But they can't hurt you.
Conforto crowds one toward the hole. Bell with a nice play, and Kingham gets over to cover. That retires the side. Bell showing a lot of range there at first base. Mets regain the lead on the Cabrera RBI double. It's 3-2. The Allegheny River from PNC Park. Francisco Cervelli leads off the home second and takes high from Stephen Matz. Cervelli just back from the concussion disabled list today. His fourth trip to the concussion disabled list in the last 14 months. And it's certainly a great concern to Cervelli and the Pirates. His last one was more post-concussion syndrome than a new concussion. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Cervelli, though, by some measures, having his best offense of the year. 379 on base percentage. He's already hit a career high 9 home runs. Now 32 years old, his 4th year with the Pirates.
He came from the Yanks, right?
It's good to wear the helmet in the photo box. If you're a right-hand hitter facing Stephen Matz, who pitches inside as much as Stephen does, what kind of adjustment would you think would be best served to a right-hand hitter?
I don't think there's any adjustment to make other than what is your strategy going in. And, you know, for a strike, I would look in. Absolutely. It's really simple. Oh, good pitch.
Got him with a changeup. That's 4 outs that Matz has recorded, all on strikeouts.
High in the strike zone. I'm seeing a lot of umpires calling the higher strike, as they should.
John Payne ruling that correctly a strike.
Now, there was a period, I don't know how long ago it was, seems like an ice age ago, where they would not call anything above the belt.
There's Sean Rodriguez playing center field tonight. Rodriguez, jack of all trades, 33rd start this year.
He's a utility guy. He hasn't had much production this year. Also a bit of a hothead too. He has a temper on him.
Of course, last year Rodriguez missed the first half of the season after he and his family were involved in a really serious car accident. Messed up his shoulder.
It was a taxi, right? I think, was it a taxi that hit him? I think it was. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but he was not at fault.
And then this year he's been down with a quad injury that he missed a month of time. Fastball got him looking. That's 5 strikeouts for Matz. The last 3 on call third strikes, and against a Pirate team that has struck out the fewest of any team in the National League.
And there's that fastball in that Matz loves to pound the right-handers with. If he can learn to do that to left-handers, it's, you know, a lot of left-handers can't throw that inside strike to a left-hand hitter. If he can learn to perfect that, then that opens up the outside corner for him against the lefties. I mean, I think he's just made great strides. I think the elbow issue is behind him. He's pitched. He's healthy. He's made every start except for once earlier in the year.
Falls behind Jordy Mercer 2-0. Well, you know, he had that nerve transposition surgery, which is the same one that Jacob deGrom had a couple of winters before, and it did wonders for deGrom, and it's done the same for Matz. Mercer pops one up in a shallow center, and Nimmo's settling under it. First non-strikeout out for Matz. He gets him 1-2-3. Mets lead 3-2 after 2.
Now Gary.
PNC Park.
So they really turned this area here into really a nice sports complex. Ironically, the Penguins play, their arena is downtown across the river.
Also right next to Himes Field is the Carnegie Science Center, which is a great place to take the kids. Here's Wilmer Flores leading off in the 3rd inning. Mets up 3-2. Wilmer provided the first 2 runs with a towering home run to left, his 9th home run of the year. Nick Kingham's been really good at getting the first 2 outs of an inning, not so good at getting the 3rd. That's a score all 3 of their runs after 2 were out. Nimmo and Bautista to follow in the 3rd. Flores lays off the slider. 2-1. Slider's a new pitch for Kingham. He was strictly fastball, curveball, changeup before this year, but has added that slider as a 4th offering. He falls behind on Flores. 3-1.
It makes it tough on these young players to come up and learn a new pitch on the big league level. You know, a lot of guys down in AAA, AA develop into those pitches. What took them so long? He's got a good fastball. He spots that ball in the outside corner.
That's been his best asset in his first 10 big league starts. He doesn't walk many, just 2.2 walks per 9 innings, although a walk cost him in the last inning. And now he walks Flores. 2nd straight inning he's issued a leadoff walk. So that is against type for Mr. Kingham. There are the wild card standings in the National League. Pirates really weren't a factor until the last couple of weeks. Now they find themselves just 3.5 games out of the 2nd wild card. And as Keith mentioned in the open, it makes this series against the Mets enormous. Say they take 3 out of 4 or sweep 4 games and they're right in it. Well, the trading deadline's Tuesday. Maybe the Pirates will be buyers. But if they lose 3 of 4 or get swept, they might be sellers. Good changeup by Kingham to start off Nimmo. 0-1. I think another team that you wouldn't have expected to be is in a very similar circumstance this weekend, and that's the Washington Nationals, who start the day 7 games out of first place and 5.5 out in the wild card. They certainly had no expectation that they'd be in this position 5 days before the deadline. Nimmo trying to push a bunt with Freese playing a step back. But you know, the Nationals just put Strasburg back in the DL today. They just called up the former Met Tommy Malone to start tonight against the Marlins, and they're behind early in that game.
No.
If they have a rough weekend, maybe they decide to be sellers. Maybe Bryce Harper gets traded since he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
They're a team that I just feel have internal issues. I remember 2 years ago they weren't happy. Was it 2 years ago of Matt Williams, or was it?
That's
3 years ago.
Because Dusty was there for what, 2 years?
And then Dusty came in and kind of settled things down.
Got into the postseason last year.
Yeah, and I think
got fired.
And I think everything blew up on him in that Cubs series in the playoffs. And I think that, I mean, he got fired immediately after the postseason.
Well, new manager Davey Martinez, he's had issues to deal with there. He had to bench Trey Turner yesterday because he didn't run out a ground ball.
You got your 2-star pitchers getting in an argument in the dugout. You got Bryce Harper looking like he's pouting, not running the ball out, and at least in the series against us.
Well, pouting during the home run derby. Looked very happy there.
Well, his dad was throwing.
It's a nice bonding moment. Nimmo takes one the other way. That's a fair ball. It'll hit the jutting stands, bounce away from Luplow. Flores will go to 3rd, and Nimmo pulls into 2nd base with an opposite field double.
Well, that is what we need to see more of. And that is this. Look at that pitch. Going right with it. Just a cut and slash. Right down the line. A belt-high pitch. Brandon, who's been swinging up. I'd love to see that swing again. This was a nice level swing on a belt-high away pitch. Look at this. Beautiful. Just a little flick of the wrist.
13th double of the year for Nimmo. 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Bautista up. They're going to play the infield back with the exception of the first baseman Bell. And Bautista takes a curveball for a strike. So the Pirates already down 3-2, willing to concede another run on a ground ball.
Well, they've been hitting, but they got 2 big bats out of the lineup.
Tyler Glasnow hits up in the Pirate bullpen with Kingham struggling a 3rd straight inning. And he misses inside a ball and a strike.
Well, Pirate pitching has been, during the win streak, has been really good. Their bullpen and their starters. But over the course of the season, they've just been very pedestrian.
They've given up the 3rd most hits of any staff in the league.
That's my new word. I like that word.
Pedestrian is a very good word.
I think it's a great word. As instead of saying, you know, average, pedestrian sounds much gentler and kinder.
Well, why did the chicken cross the road?
To get on the other side.
Because he was a pedestrian. Here's the 2-1. And Bautista fouls it off 2-2. Well, those are the starting pitchers for the Pirates.
They're all middle of the pack.
And low.
Right.
They got a really good closer in Felipe Vasquez. The rest of the bullpen's been a little up and down. Joe to Bautista, who singled to center his first time up. And he goes down swinging on a changeup and is very unhappy with himself. That's the first strikeout of 9 for Kingham.
Kingham's got potential. He's got decent stuff. What are you going to do? He throws you a sinking change like that with 2 strikes.
So that's a big first out for Kingham. The infield will stay back with 1 out for Jeff Mcneil. He grounded out his first time up with 2 men on, and he bats again with 2 aboard, this time at second and third.
He's got like a war club up there, doesn't he?
Well, he's got no knob on his bat. It's very odd. It's a bat he got from Lamar Johnson, one of the Mets minor league hitting coaches.
Well, he chokes up, so really he doesn't need a knob. I mean, you got pine tar to keep your grip firm, but look at the barrel. This is a fairly long bat. I'd like to know how much it weighs, because everybody uses such light bats today. What happened?
Now they're going to intentionally walk him after falling behind 2-0. They'll walk Mcneil and pitch to Mesoraco with the bases loaded.
I keep forgetting about that abracadabra.
Well, it was only half an abracadabra because they had already thrown 2 actual balls. So now Mesoraco, who walked and scored in the second, gets a chance with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Mesoraco, who in his last game had a bases clearing double, has a chance for another. And he goes after a first pitch breaking ball, 0-1.
Good curveball right there. You know, if you're wondering, you know, Mesoraco doesn't run well. He doesn't want to hit into a double play. Is he trying to stay away from that? And my feeling is this: that's a negative thought. You don't want to have a negative thought. Go up there and rip the bat. Focus on hitting a line drive up the middle, and if the least hit a fly ball.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you should be focused on getting the ball in the air anyway.
If you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to hit no double play, that's negative.
They got the runner home from third with less than 2 out, 4-9 this year. Cervelli out at the mound to talk to Kingham. Going to do their second mound visit in the first 3 innings. Third straight inning that Kingham has thrown 20 or more pitches. That's not a recipe for dealing deep into a game. And they've got Glasnow, who should be warm and ready to go in the bullpen. 1-1 to Mesoraco. And Devin takes up an in, 2-1. So Kingham, who's normally blessed with outstanding control, has already walked 3, 1 intentional.
But the bases are loaded. That changes the whole dynamic, Garrett.
Flores at third, Nimmo at second, Mcneil at first, and Mesoraco takes a curveball outside, and now it's 3-1.
And that's a pitch for the young pitcher I don't like. It's 2-1, bases loaded. He's missed a couple pitches. He's walked a batter in this inning. And now he's got to come with a heater.
So he's painted himself right into a corner. 3-1 to Mesoraco. And Devin cracks one to left center field. That'll be playable for Rodriguez. Tagging at third, Flores. He'll come in to score. It's a sacrifice fly for Mesoraco, and the Mets tack on a run. They lead 4-2. 27th run batted in for Mesoraco.
Well, Mesoraco got himself into a good hitter's count with the bases loaded. The pressure's on the pitcher, especially after missing a 2-1 breaking ball. That is, you know, that's room service.
So now 2 out and 2 on for Matz, who hit the ball well his first time up, lined out to left field. Steven just 3 for 32 this year. I mean, you didn't think he was going to drive in 4 runs every game of his career, did you?
No. Hey, this is not an easy out right here. So it's always interesting to see pitchers how they pitch under duress. You know, anybody can pitch, you know, from the wind up. So you always check how they pitch out of the stretch, Gary. Are they uncomfortable? Does it take them a while? Can they pitch out of the stretch, depending on what stage of the career they're in? And can they pitch when the ducks are on the pond?
Well, Stephen Matz can tell you all about that. For most of his career, he's had big time problems pitching his way out of situations, and he's really turned a corner in that regard this year.
That was always the most valuable intelligence you can get on a pitcher throughout my career.
Matz grounds one weakly for Mercer. He'll go to first with it, and Matz running hard is out by a stride. Side retirement. The Mets add a run and lead 4-2 in the third. Such a physical beating the last few weeks, particularly shots to the head.
That one staggered him, and that hurt. And that's bad luck.
I mean, he gets hit with those overswings consistently.
It's all these guys will let go with one hand. Like, and then that.
That's just bad luck.
I mean, come on.
For more on the Mets pincushion and a mask, let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, I asked Devin Mesoraco about it. I think he understood my question. He seemed all there. But he's someone that wants to set up as close to the plate as possible so that he can really cut off those balls in the dirt. The problem is that the coaching staff has noticed recently on video that while he normally sets up close to home plate as the pitch is coming in, he actually moves his head even closer. So they've made him aware of that, and he is consciously trying now to back up so that stuff stops.
Well, I think if you get hit in the coconut so many times like him on the backswing, I think I would move a little deeper. I mean, that's no fun.
I don't know. I mean, we just saw those numbers, so he's maybe 2 inches closer to the plate than the average catcher. I'm not sure those 2 inches make a difference, do they, on those wild overswings?
I don't know what to tell you there, Gare.
Yeah.
It does. One thing's for certain, and the evidence is there. Seeing is believing. He's getting clobbered.
I'll say this: it has happened so much more in recent years.
Yes.
Catchers have gotten hit. The 2-2 to Kingham, and that's in for a call third strike as Matz has his 6th strikeout, first time through the batting order. 1 out in the third. And you know, I know Major League Baseball, like every sport, is much more conscious of concussions and the damage they can cause. It's one of the reasons why the home plate sliding rule was changed, was to try to minimize concussions. So if that's the case, the hitters need to be more responsible about where their bat winds up after they take a swing. Should there be some penalty for a batter letting go and having his bat hit a catcher in the head?
So you got a hitter that comes up, and that's how he's hit his whole life, letting go with one hand. You're going to tell him to change his swing? I disagree, Gare. I think it's the catcher that has to move back. And they've already, what we just talked about with Steve, is he likes to get close. Well, he's putting himself in jeopardy. So I used to let go with one hand. But
did you ever hit a catcher?
No, I never did. I would not come back high. I would let go of the bat because I stayed level. My follow through was level, and my bat came almost down.
That's a really interesting point that you're making, as Luplow pops one foul. So maybe what we're seeing is the residue of hitters hitting with more of an uppercut, so that bat comes around high and comes down on the catcher. Here's Luplow almost hitting Mesoraco. One time avoided the contact.
I mean, some guys let go. Charlie Lau is the Charlie Lau school, which you don't see a lot anymore, was let go with one hand.
Right, but when Charlie was teaching in the 70s, Walt Riniak in the 80s, 90s, you didn't see catchers get smacked all the time, and you see it all the time now. That's lined the other way, and Luplow's got a base hit. It's the second hit against Matt, so 1 out single. But I didn't think about this till just when you talked about having a level swing. If you have more of an uppercut, then that bat comes up high, and if you keep coming around, you're going to hit the catcher in the head.
Right, because then it's going to come down.
Right.
Or if you stay level, you're going to. Okay, so the point we're trying to make is, with the uppercut, you're coming with your follow through. The bat's going to come down at an angle on the catcher. If you're here, you're stepping out of the box. You're dropping the bat down here. So let me do the level again. Your bat's going to come down here, up here. Your bat comes back. Boom.
So whose axe is there to grind?
If I'm a catcher and I'm getting hit like Mesoraco, I'm moving back. I'm sorry.
But you can't move back that far.
I understand.
I mean, maybe a couple of inches, but I'm not sure that's going to make a difference.
I'm not going to be like Francisco Cervelli and be on the DL with a concussion.
1-2 to Josh Harrison, who struck out his first time up. I mean, I think about it this way, and I know you disagree. When kids start playing Little League, what's the one thing that they're told not to do that they do all the time? Can't throw the bat. You throw the bat, you're out, right?
Right.
Why can't it be the same with follow-throughs on swings? You're responsible for where your follow-through ends up.
Well, you're a very dear friend, Gary. So we're free to disagree.
I'd like to disagree with you because it's more fun that way. 2-2 to Harrison, and it's inside, and so Matz runs a full count. Steven got ahead 0-2. Now he's running to 3-2 on Harrison. Gregory Polanco on deck. Luplow, not a lot of speed at first base. Matz, of course, has all sorts of trouble holding on base runners. And Harrison hits one to deep left field. Conforto back on the track at the wall. It's out of here. Josh Harrison ties the game with a 2-run homer. His 6th home run of the year, and we're back even. It's 4-4. Second 2-run homer of the night against Steven Matz.
Well, Harrison just continues to be a Met killer. He got that little cutter curve down and in. He just dropped the barrel.
Full Fisk.
Well, he's always, well, he better get out. But he knew it. Still should run.
So it's now a tie game again, 4-4 in the third. Here's Gregory Polanco flying one down the left field side, slicing away, and it'll go into the seats of foul ball.
Well, here's the home run again. Here's the curve. It just didn't have a lot of snap on it. Easy one to track.
Harrison now 4 for 8 in his career against Mats, including that home run. Stevens given up more home runs than any Met pitcher. That's 17 now in 103 innings of work this year.
Harrison once again, huh, Gary?
He's devastating against the Mets. Ground ball for Cabrera to handle, and he throws out Polanco, 2 out. Now David Freese, who hit the first 2-run homer against Mets, a drive into the seats in right center in the first inning. Mets led 2-0. Freese's home run tied it. Mets went up 4-2. Harrison's home run ties it. Mets, for the second straight start, finds the going not so splendid. Gave up 5 runs in 5 innings against the Yankees last time out.
Good
Freese
cut.
fouls back a fastball, 1-1.
He was sitting on that fastball, and well, he's talking it over.
Harrison hit 16 home runs last year. That's just his 6th of this year.
I'll give you an idea. It's very humid here, folks, in Pittsburgh.
Spectrum brings you the high-speed pitch. It's matched by an MPH. Do you get a prize for that? Should there be some kind of recompense for the ability to throw a ball at a particular velocity? Or we just an information?
It would be, was Nolan Ryan, would be a participation award.
Freese is on with a 2-out walk. Second walk given up by Mats. Game 2 of this 4-game series tomorrow night will mark the return to action of Jason Vargas off the disabled list. Ivan Nova pitches for the Pirates. Jacob deGrom goes Saturday night against Trevor Williams. Zach Wheeler Sunday afternoon against Joe Musgrove.
There he is.
The National League and Major League ERA leader.
By
a lot.
Like the Roadrunner. Beep, beep.
Here's Josh Bell. And so far the Coyote has failed to drop the anvil in the proper spot. And deGrom has been unbelievable.
Yes, he has.
And his luck has been as unbelievably bad in terms of his run support, his bullpen support, his defensive support. 5-5 record despite the best credentials of any pitcher in the majors.
Do you like that orange button on the cap, Gary, or would you rather have it blue?
Well, you know, the original Met cap did not have the orange button.
We didn't have the orange button.
So I don't
mind it.
I don't dislike it, but I did like the original cap with the blue button.
I'm in your camp.
Bell pops one up. Flores gets back under it and staggers, but makes the catch.
No, he did not.
Dropped it. He had it. He dropped it. It's a foul ball, and Bell will go back to the plate with the inning still alive.
I'd like to see where Cabrera was. Once you start backpedaling, that ball starts bouncing because you're on your heels. So really, Wilmer just got a bad track on the ball. And that happened once in my career, and I will be excused because it was on a very windy night at Candlestick.
No error on the play, but another chance for Bell, and he grounds one down to third, and it goes right by Mcneil and down the line. To third base goes Freese, and into second goes Josh Bell.
He could have got in front of that ball.
Well, the scouting report on Jeff McNeil was that he was a subpar defender. It's the first chance he's had, and it skidded right on by for an error.
Well, the only mistake that he made was he had time to get in front, and he opted to play the backhand and the in-between hop. Let me tell you, that ball hits that jutting fence line, and Karam's in the field. That runner scores.
Here's Cervelli, second and third, 2 out. And Matz goes with the changeup, which he struck him out with his first time up.
So you see, he had time to get in front. And he's a second baseman by trade, right?
He's a guy who's played all over. Played a lot of outfield in college. Played second base and third base in the minors, some outfield as well. And the word is that he's, how do I put this, least uncomfortable at second base.
Okay.
But mostly he's a bat in search of a position.
Yeah.
Cervelli takes a fastball on the inside edge. He didn't think so. 1-2.
Maybe in the near future now with the new triumvirate that there'll be more emphasis on defense.
I think that is absolutely a given. Paul Sewald is up in the Mets bullpen as Matt struggles up to 71 pitches in the third inning. Big out to get here. Second and third, 2 out. 1-2 to Cervelli. And a ground ball back to Steven. And he gets that third out, but not before the Pirates tie it on Josh Harrison's 2-run homer. 4-4 after 3. In Pittsburgh has upped itself over the years, but this is one of the holdovers, something that's uniquely Pittsburgh for Randy Brothers. You got the bologna sandwich with the French fries and the coleslaw inside the sandwich. Something to behold.
What kind of sick individual would think up that one?
It's very popular. Ahmed Rosario leads off the fourth inning with a stinging base hit to left field. And the Mets have the leadoff man on for the third straight inning. Third time around the batting order now for Nick Kingham.
Well, it just seems that Rosario has kicked it into gear. Someone got in his ear and he has just turned it on. And hustling and running, he just has. He's energetic. Spark, another guy that sparks the lineup like Nimmo.
Let's see if he can think about running here with Cabrera at the plate as Drubel hit one off the fence in right field for a double to drive in a run. Well, Kingham, through his first 10 starts, had been very effective his first 2 times through the batting order and not so much afterward. Well, he struggled his first time two times through the batting order tonight, and now he's getting the Mets a 3rd time around. And the Pirates have the bullpen cranking again. Kingham's given up runs in each of the first 3 innings. Thrown over 20 pitches in each of the first 3 innings.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pitches, that's for sure.
So does Matt. Both these teams are going to be in their bullpens pretty early in this game. Rosario 8 steals. He's been caught 5 times. Tyler Glasnow was up most of the last inning. Is up again. Where it takes outside. 1-0. Rosario lengthens his lead, does not run, and Cabrera flies one to deep right field. Back goes Polanco at the wall. It's out of here. As Dribble Cabrera with a 2-run homer to put the Mets back in front. Number 18 for Cabrera, and it's 6-4 New York in the 4th. So as Dribble, who had been struggling coming out of the All-Star break, tonight an RBI double and now a 2-run homer.
Well, what I've seen from Cabrera is that he's been looking from the left side of the plate, middle in, with the intent to lift, but not over swinging. And there you go. Ball was middle in and down. No overswing. And down, oh, right down the pipe.
And that'll be the end of the line for Nick Kingham. He is out after 3 innings plus. And Tyler Glasnow will come in to replace him. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. 6-4 Mets in the 4th. .24-year-old Tyler Glasnow comes out of the Pittsburgh bullpen. Michael Conforto fouls off his 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
33 games, all in relief. Too many walks, 30 and 53.
Look at those first batters faced, though. It's an outstanding number against the first man he faces out of the bullpen. Glasnow started some games for the Pirates the last 2 years, but his stuff is playing up as a reliever. His fastball velocity this year up 2 miles an hour from last year. And he misses with a curveball, 2-1. Nick Kingham, 74 pitches over 3 innings plus, allowed 6 runs and 8 hits, 3 walks, 1 intentional, 1 strikeout, 2 home runs. Mets have scored 6 runs for the 3rd straight day.
How about that?
Where's this been? Past the mound, Harrison on the charge, bobbles and loses the play, and Conforto is safe at first.
Well, I don't think he had to make this play. He could have gathered himself a little better, but still, it's just that didn't take a bad hop. He just flubbed it.
So each team's now made an infield error. Still nobody out in the inning with Conforto at first.
Steal a base.
Conforto?
He can steal a base. He's 2 for 2. He can sneak it. I like putting the pedal to the metal here.
I'd like to talk about the socks and the shoes that Tyler Glasnow is wearing. Now, the Pirates on Thursdays wear military-oriented uniforms with camo. But the camo with the gold and black, not so much.
Oh, hideous. And high tops.
I mean, you have to think about color coordination. Right now, if he went with camo shoes, that might work.
No.
Or maybe desert boot color shoes.
You got to go dark black. You just got to go black.
Yeah, that would work too.
And the socks are hideous.
Well, but see now the socks with the white shoes that Josh Harrison's wearing, that's not quite as bad. But the gold and black shoes with the camo, it's rough. Slow hit by Flores. In comes Freese. His play will be to first. In down to get Wilmer as Conforto moves up to second, 1 out.
Where'd that song come from? Jeez.
Not one of your faves?
No, well, it just like trumpets.
Well, it's Goodbye to You.
I know.
It was like sit down, that kind of.
Do you remember the old organ player here that used to play the organ? He was actually quite clever.
I don't remember that.
He used to play Hernando's Hideaway for me when I came up to the plate.
It's like the Pittsburgh version of Ernie Hayes.
Yes.
Here's Nimmo. Takes the curveball low and in. Nimmo's been on base twice with a walk and an opposite field double. Trying to get his season restarted after a rough last few weeks. Vince Lashai. That's the organist that you're talking about in Pittsburgh.
Yes. Also the organist in San Diego, old Jack Murphy, was terrific. I can't remember his name. He was terrific. Played really good up as a player. It would get me going, but he was really good. I can't remember his name.
Were you a Jane Jarvis fan?
I like the sound of the organ.
The Thomas organ.
I loved that sound. There was no sound like that organ sound. It was deep too.
Yeah, she was great. Glasnow and Cervelli having trouble getting together. Now the 2-1, and Nimmo takes the fastball low and away, 3-1. We'll say Bautista waiting on deck. Mets have taken the lead for the 3rd time in this game. They were up 2-0 on the Flores home run. Pirates tied it. Went up 4-2. Pirates tied it again. Now the 2-run homer by Cabreras put the Mets back in front again. Here's a fastball strike, 3-2.
I found it. Danny Topaz on the organ in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Danny Topaz. I knew it was a kind of a unique name. He was terrific. All right, back to the game.
And there's ball 4, and Nimmo's on base for the 3rd time. Here's Jane Jarvis on the Thomas organ.
Looks like it's a spring day. She's not dressed in summer garb. spring or September. A little chilly.
Here's Bautista, who singled and struck out 1 for 2. And he takes the fastball low and away from Glasnow. Where's this game going to end up? 6-4 in the 4th?
Yes, we haven't had one of these in a while, have we?
That's yesterday. The Mets,
Well, I did one.
Mets and Padres played a 6-4 game, but they did it in 2 hours and 18 minutes. I don't think 2 hours and 18 minutes is on the docket for us tonight.
But we get to walk home over the bridge into the beautiful city of Pittsburgh.
So if it's not raining by then.
There is rain to the yes. You're right, coming in.
Good cut by Bautista, and he fouls back the fastball 2-1. Let's just say it is a rarity for us to come to Pittsburgh for a series and not experience a little rainfall.
But it's not like Atlanta.
Well, we go to Atlanta more often.
That's true.
But we're done with Atlanta for the year.
I like Atlanta, but I'm glad I'm not going back there.
Inside and low, and Glasnow, who just walked Nimmo, falls behind Bautista 3-1. Mets have already drawn 4 walks in this game. We're in the 4th inning. Jeff Mcneil on deck. Forto at second, Nimmo at first with 1 out. And Bautista grounds one down to third, might be 2. Freese with the step and fire, low throw, can't be handled by Bell, and the inning continues. David Freese had himself an easy double play, but he rushed the throw. Bell couldn't pull it out of the dirt. So it's a 5 unassisted fielder's choice, and the Mets have 2 on and 2 out.
Bell watch him go forward. Sweeping forward. The glove's already got to be out there and work from the bottom up. He's not known for his glove.
No error because you can't assume the double play, but the inning gets handed to Mcneil, who was grounded out and drawn an intentional walk, 0 for 1. 3rd straight plate appearance where he's come up with 2 men on in his first big league start. Nimmo at second, Bautista at first with 2 down. And Mcneil takes a knee-high fastball for a strike, 1-1. Jeff Mcneil, 12th round draft pick for the Mets in 2013 out of Long Beach State. Two balls and a strike. Walks have been a problem for Glasnow throughout his major league career. This year 5.1 walks per 9. Last year 6.4 walks per 9. He's been behind everybody in this inning. And Mcneil takes a rip at a fastball, and it's 2-2. Two on, 2 out, 2-2 to Mcneil. And it's off the corner, full count. 3rd straight 3-ball count that Glasnow has run. So now Nimmo and Bautista will be in motion with 3-2 and 2 down. And Mcneil hits one in the batter's box. Cervelli pauses to pick it up, hoping maybe it would roll fair, but it stayed right where it was, and it's a full count. Smart play by Cervelli, hoping maybe it would spin back into fair territory. Mesoraco would be next. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming to Mcneil. And it's low ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So Glasnow has now walked a pair since coming on here in the 4th. That's 5 walks that the Mets have drawn now.
Well, he came in, and that's going to get Ray Surge out there, but 53 innings, 30 walks. Well, he just added a couple more on there.
So this is the 4th inning, and this is the Pirates' 3rd mound visit. I don't think we've seen that happen in a game this year. Of course, you're limited to 6 per 9 innings now. But the Pirate pitchers have struggled so mightily in this game, Kingham and now Glasnow, that Searage hasn't had much of a choice. And so Devin Mesoraco will come up with the bases loaded for his 2nd straight plate appearance. Came up with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 3rd, and delivered a sac fly. He'll come up this time with 2 out on the bases full. Searage has been there every step of the way with Clint Hurdle since he became the Pirates skipper. So Mesoraco has walked and delivered a sac fly. He's scored a run. He's driven in a run. And a chance to put some distance between the Mets and the Pirates. Nimmo at 3rd, Bautista at 2nd, Mcneil at 1st with 2 out. Mcneil's now reached base in 4 of 5 big league plate appearances. And Glasnow misses with a first pitch curveball. Glasnow came in after the home run by Cabrera. He's thrown 27 pitches already.
Making it tough on himself.
It's over 100 now for the Pirate pitchers. And the fastball up and in, 2-0.
He's starting to get a little tight. I'm sensing an Archie Bell here.
Good spot for Mesoraco, up in the count, 2-0. And Devin takes a strike. 2-1. Interesting. Glasnow was throwing 98, 99 as this innings progressed. Now throwing more 95. And Mesoraco takes it low, and now it's 3-1. Well, same spot Devin was in his last at bat with the bases full. He worked a 3-1 count before the sac fly.
Clint Hurdle just praying to get out of this inning with only the 2 runs. There's Clint. He's got no one up in the bullpen.
3-1. Mesoraco pops it up. 3rd base side. Freese right to the barrier, but it's in the crowd.
All right, can he throw back-to-back strikes? I mean, a big gapper right here busts this game wide open.
So now the merry-go-round will be in motion. Nimmo, Bautista, and Mcneil will all be running. 3-2 to Mesoraco. And Devin grounds one down to 3rd. Nice backhand play by Freese. The throw to 1st is offline, and everybody's safe. Oh. And now breaking for the plate is Bautista, and he's tagged out. But a run comes home as Nimmo scores, and the Mets tack on a run to make it 7-4.
Oh, wow.
Bautista hustling from 2nd to 3rd. Freese thought he was going to have a force there, but didn't. Had to throw it to 1st, threw off line, and the Mets steal a run.
He threw the ball before he touched the bag.
loaded, remember, so Bautista's running from second.
And hustling.
It was a nice pickup by Freese to start the play.
Freese realizes that Bautista's hustle, he can't beat him. Now, what made the play bizarre was the error on the base running on the backside. Mcneil from first base continued running to third and ran Bautista off third base.
Now they've scored that, an error on Freese, no RBI, and then Bautista is thrown out at the plate. 3-2 is the scoring on that for the third out.
But you can't assume a double play. No, it was 2 outs.
No, the error is throwing wildly to first base because he still had to play at first.
That's right.
Right? Because it's Mesoraco running, so if he makes a clean throw to first, he gets the out.
Correct.
Strike 3 called, and Sean Rodriguez is out on strikes. So let's go back and look at the whole thing.
Watch Bautista second base. He makes this play happen by hustling. Freese realizes that he can't beat him to the bag, so he throws. And now Mcneil, for some peculiar reason, runs Bautista off of third on the backside.
So if you're the runner at first there, Mcneil, you get to second, and then what's your read?
Well, you got to realize you got a runner in front of you. But, so you got to watch Bautista.
But did he think that when the wild throw was made that Bautista was going to try and score at that point? Is that, you think that's what he read?
I would like to watch it one more time because there was 3 things to watch and focus on in this play.
So it goes as an error, and no RBI for Mesoraco, bringing Nimmo in with the third run of the inning to make it 7-4.
We'll show you again, folks. Now watch Bautista and Mcneil. Try to watch them both. See what Bautista does right now at third base.
Yeah.
Oh, he ran them off.
You're right. That's Mcneil's mistake. I mean, Bautista's lying on third base.
Yes.
There's no way he should have broken from third.
I mean, there were 3 things to watch in that play. And
Jordy Mercer rolls one right over the bag, but foul. Mcneil was able to pick the ball up cleanly that time, but it was a foul ball. Yeah, looking at it the last time, that's just a big mistake by Mcneil because Bautista is still lying down at third base, and there's no way. I mean, Mcneil had that right in front of him, should have been able to see it.
Right. You can't overrun your runner in front of you.
One-two coming to Mercer, and he struck him out. That is 8 strikeouts for Steven Matz, just 1 shy of his career high. He's fanned the first 2 here in the 4th.
Just good high gas.
They're going to leave the pitcher Glasnow into bat for himself after he just threw how many pitches? 31 pitches in that last inning.
I would tell him to go in and have a shower. We don't know what shape the bullpen is for the Pirates. They coming off their loss. They got shut out last night. Trevor Bauer shut them out. Was that 2-hitter over 7?
Yep.
10 strikeouts.
That's misses with a curveball, and it's 2-1. What a wild game this has been.
Yes, it has. I haven't had one of these in a while.
That's about 3 separate leads. They've scored in each of the first 4 innings. It's sliced foul, and it's 2-2 to Glasnow. T-Mobile built for baseball. Latest in the deals before the deadline. Yankees pick up J. Happ for Brandon Drury. Fastball strike 3 called. Matt strikes out the side in the 4th. And Steven matches his career high with 9 strikeouts. He's got a 7-4 lead after 4. Willie Stargell, the inspiration behind the Pirates 1979 We Are Family team. We showed Babe Ruth working out last week. This is Pops working out.
This is a young Willie Stargell right here. Don't mess with Pops. Look at this, big Wilbur. What a fine man. We miss him.
And he could hit a baseball a long way.
One of the finest men I've ever played with or against. A total, absolute gentleman, total giving person.
The kind of guy you'd like to tie for an MVP award with.
Well, we're forever linked. We're the only two. And he's from Oakland on the East Bay. And I'm from little old Pacifica on the West Bay of San Francisco. How about that? Had both sides of the bay represented in '79.
Steven Matz fouls one away as he leads off in the 5th inning. Mets up 7-4.
I met Willie first when I was 20 years old, and there was a awards dinner up in Napa, and I really shouldn't have been there. It was everybody was there, and Willie took me aside and was so nice to me. And I had just been called up in September, and that was it. And he saw me hit a little bit, and then over the years when I struggled, he was the one that came up to me and said, "You got a good stroke. Don't you worry. Don't lose your confidence." He was one of 3 guys on an opposing team. Pete Rose is the other one, Steve Garvey, that were really, really kind to me and gave me the kind of compliment that I needed when I was really kind of down in the dumps a little bit. And he was the Pops, the leader of that Pirate team.
I mean, based on your experiences, Harrison fields the grinder. Glasnow has to get over to cover, and again, Max hustling down the line is out by a stride. I would imagine it didn't shock you the kind of leadership role that he took in the course of his career.
Well, I think when Willie retired, I think the club went downhill. They lost that leadership. And there was his signature over it. I used to copy that.
That windmill?
Yep, I loved it. And when I was not swinging the bat good, I did that as the pitcher was starting his windup, which was a copy of Willie. I didn't hit 500 home runs, but.
Zari hits one sharply, but Harrison had him played perfectly, and that's the 2nd out. So Glasnow has retired the first 2 in the top of the 5th. Your Etna 5th inning recap. It's been a wild one. Flores and Cabrera have homered for the Mets. Freese and Harrison for the Pirates. All of those were 2-run homers. Steven Matz has struggled, but he struck out 9, matching his career high over 4 innings, 87 pitches, and he'll be going back out there for the 5th, trying to qualify for a win. Meanwhile, Asdrubal Cabrera has had a big night. RBI double in the 2nd, 2-run homer in the 4th. Each of those gave the Mets a lead. So Glasnow, who had a major struggle when he came on in the 4th inning, victimized by a couple of errors, walked a couple. Now looking for a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th after Nick Kingham lasted just 3 innings plus. Hitters by Cervelli. 2-0. We're in the 5th inning. Pirate pitchers have thrown 114 pitches. That's a lot, right?
Yes.
3-0 now to Cabrera with Conforto on deck.
So many guys with good arms that throw hard but aren't polished product.
Well, the way Asdrubal's going, 2 out and nobody on, you'd figure he's swinging here. But he takes inside for ball 4. That's the 3rd walk given up by Glasnow and the 6th by Pirate pitchers already tonight. So Cabrera's on base for the 3rd time. And now Conforto, who hit a double off the fence in right field and scored in the 1st, since then has grounded out and reached on an error. Mike takes breaking ball for a strike. Back-to-back breaking balls by Class now 1-1. Lifts one to left. Loop blow is there waiting for it. And that retires the side. A walk and one left. Halfway through in Pittsburgh, Mets lead it 7-4. Everything.
You know, they think they discovered water on Mars.
Our camera people? I know they're good.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Jordan Luplow leading off in the home fifth, pops one up, and Rosario on the outfield grass reels it in. One out for Steven Matz. Look ahead presented by Wells Fargo. 3 more games to go in this series. SNY tomorrow night. Picks Saturday and Sunday. Then after a day off Monday, the Mets have a 2-game series in Washington, which is where they'll be come the trading deadline on Tuesday.
Yep.
And the Mets go home to play the Braves and the Reds. It'll be interesting to see whether Mr. Harvey is still with the Reds when they arrive at Citi Field. That would be quite a thing if Matt pitched back in Flushing against his old team.
Oh boy, the media is hopeful.
Speaking of pitchers in new places, Josh Harrison pops one foul. There is a tentative deal apparently in place for Texas to move Cole Hamels to the Cubs, which, given Tyler Chatwood's latest outing today, is probably a good thing for Chicago. Chatwood was awful again today. 6 walks in 4 2/3 innings.
I've never liked that pickup for the Cubs. I mean, Chatwood was just spiking breaking balls in the dirt 10 feet in front of home plate.
Good news for the Cubs is they won that game. Walk-off homer by Anthony Rizzo. Harrison swings through a fastball, 3-2. Meanwhile, Matz has struck out 9, matching his career high. There's the standings in the Central. Milwaukee made a relief pickup today. They got Joaquin Soria from the White Sox. Paul Sewald back up in the Mets bullpen. Matz is at 95 pitches for the night, just trying to get through 5 to qualify for a win. Started, stopped, will start again. Harrison pops it up. Flores and Mesoraco chasing it, and Wilmer makes the grab. 2 out. Good hustle on both their parts. And Matz is now retired 6 in a row.
Watch Mesoraco. He always hustling.
Sprinted until he heard Wilmer call him off. 2 out and nobody on. Now Gregory Polanco, who's walked and grounded out. It's been a strange night for Matz. He's given up a pair of 2-run homers, but struck out 9 over 4 2/3, working with a 3-run lead. And he gets a high strike to Polanco, 0-1. Ground ball past the mound. Rosario's right there. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Matz. He's retired 7 in a row. After 5, 7-4 New York. Homers for Flores and Cabrera. As Drubel's got 3 RBIs tonight. Mesoraco drove home a run with the sac fly. Mets lead 7-4 as we start the 6th. Tyler Glasnow in for his 3rd inning of relief. And Wilmer takes a fastball strike. Flores delivered the keynote tonight. A 2-run homer in the first. A towering fly ball that fell into the seats in left field. His 9th of the year. He's walked and grounded out since. 1 for 2. 3 infielders on the left side, and he pulls one to the left side off the glove of Mercer. Has time to recover, and the throw on target to get Flores. No panic from Mercer after that liner went off his glove.
Well, Wilmer's not going to get very many infield hits.
So 1 out and nobody on now. Brandon Nimmo has been on base 3 times in a row tonight. 2 walks and an opposite field double. Nice bounce back game for Nimmo. Well, Matz was so efficient in that 5th inning, throwing just 11 pitches. Looks like he'll be able to stay in and pitch the 6th. He's at 98 pitches right now, and he's hit his stride in this game, having retired 7 in a row, his best stretch of the night. He certainly appeared to be on the ropes as recently as the 3rd and 4th innings. Up and into Nimmo, 2-0. Glasnow has not given up a hit since coming on to relief, but he's walked 3 over 2 1/3. And 2 errors made behind him in the 4th inning when he came in. That cost him a run. On the inside edge, 2-1.
Well, Glasnow can throw. Boy, he's got a big arm.
Stopped out at 99 miles an hour.
You got to get set. Can't get the curveball over. Sit on that fastball. Get ahead in the count or first pitch out of the box.
Jose Bautista on deck, and Nimmo takes it high. Now it's 3-1. Well, we're going to get Nimmo out throwing the ball out of the strike zone. His eye's too good. Granted, for all his recent struggles, has his on base percentage up around 380. And he's on again. Third time he's walked tonight. On base for the fourth straight time. Justine Ward is in the studio. Let's check in with her for a game break brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Justine.
Right fielder, Jose Bautista.
Thanks, Justine. Here's Jose Bautista, 1 for 3 on the night. Nimmo has spent this entire day aboard. He's got 7 steals and 11 tries. There goes Nimmo. From his knees, Cervelli. Perfect throw, and he got him. Francisco Cervelli, first day off the DL. Bullet throw from his knees to get Nimmo for the second out.
Always watching the replay. Nothing wrong with that, and a perfect throw to boot.
Harrison just had to catch it, and the tag made itself. So 2 out and nobody on. Ball and a strike to Bautista.
Decent jump, just perfect throw. That throw, if that throw's belt high or letter high, he's safe.
Now, Keith, he looked back. Generally, guys don't look back
on a straight
steal.
Right. Well,
I can't imagine that there was a hit and run play on with Bautista.
I can't imagine either. Oh, that moon is over the skyline here. Beautiful.
Moon over Pittsburgh. Very famous. One-two coming.
Oh boy, he can't get the curve over. Here it is again. Watching from the knees. That's pretty impressive.
Pirates have had some catchers who could throw from their knees. Tony Pena, Manny Sanguillen. Half swing, and Bautista down on strikes. Glasnow finally gets something positive out of his curveball. That's his first strikeout. Steven Matz heading back out there for the bottom of the 6th. After Cervelli's perfect throw cut down Nimmo. Still 7-4 New York. Home sixth inning. Steven Matz gets a curveball in for a strike to David Freese. Freese has hit a 2-run homer and drawn a walk tonight. Well, Matz has settled in and retired 7 in a row after that nearly deadly third inning when he threw 34 pitches. This is with the curveball, 1-1. Josh Bell and Francisco Cervelli to follow. Mets at 100 pitches. He's thrown as many as 110 this year. And the Mets trying to nurse him through one more inning. Freese fouls off the changeup, 1-2. Two coming. Routed down to third. Mcneil plays the big hop. Goes on target to get Freese one away. That's 8 in a row for Mets. Rain Delay Theater with Steve Gelbs and Wayne Randazzo is now a podcast. Listen to their first episode with Brandon Nimmo as they discuss his struggles in the minors, the power of prayer, and the day he got called up to the big leagues. Just search Rain Delay Theater and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now, did they do the interview during an actual rain delay, or are they just using the name Rain Delay Theater because that's how they started doing their shtick?
I think it's their shtick.
Good luck to Steve and Wayne in their
Wayno.
Newly expanded pursuit. 1-1 to Bell, who's 0 for 2. Bell reached on an error by Mcneil his last time up. And he flies this one out to right. Bautista has room. Onto the warning track to get it. 2 out.
All of a sudden, Matz, who's jumped out with what, 9 strikeouts, with 3 in a row in the 4th, as getting out the balls in play. I like it.
And that's keeping him in the game because it's lowering his pitch usage. He's retired 9 straight, the last 5 on balls put in play. And now Cervelli, who has struck out and hit a comebacker, 0 for 2. And he pops it up. Cabrera retreating. Bautista coming on as Dribble will take care of it. Side retired. What a finish for Steven Matz. 10 in a row retired. And he gets through 6 innings with a 7-4 lead. Pittsburgh.
Well, he's having himself a sparkling year. Really tough on both lefties and righties, but really tough on left-handers. Only 8 walks. He's a strike thrower. We like these guys.
Rookie right-hander, 28 years old, will come on to face Jeff Mcneil leading off in the 7th. Let's check in with Steve.
Garrett, you guys were talking about the really unique bat earlier that Jeff Mcneil uses, the one without the knob. I was talking to him about it today. He said he uses it because he likes his bat to be really balanced, and he didn't love how it would narrow towards the knob. So once he started picking this up, it felt a lot better. Keith, you asked how much did that bat weigh? It's 34 ounces. He used to swing a 35-ounce one, actually, but he says because of the balance, it feels a lot lighter than the actual weight.
Well, by today's standards.
Pushes a bunt of beauty. Freese has to barehand it, and safe at first base. Close play, but Mcneil able to beat it out for a bunt hit on base for the 3rd time today.
Beautiful bunt.
Catcher, Eval.
Right down the line. Beautiful.
And he did appear to beat it. No challenge by the Pirates. So that is the 2nd big league hit for Jeff Mcneil. And he's now been on base 5 of 6 plate appearances since he came up. That's taken the other way by Mesoraco through the open infield. And the Mets have 2 men on. Now the Pirates putting on the full shift against Mesoraco, and Devin hit it right where there was nobody playing.
For the Mets, number 7.
Well, there's your shift. And that's, I mean, it's situational hitting too, Gary. You've got a 7-4 ball game, 3-run game, and that's close. And you've got that whole right side of the infield open to set up a 1st and 3rd. It didn't happen. Mcneil didn't get the 3rd, but that's the right idea.
So now Reyes will bat for Matz, who's done after 6 innings. That did not start well, but finished extremely well. And Jose takes a rip at a fastball, 0-1. Reyes started yesterday at 3rd base, went 1 for 3. Mcneil at 2nd, Mesoraco at 1st. Not much speed out there. Corners in for the Pirates, but Reyes never been a particularly good sacrifice bunter. And he takes up and away from Rodriguez, 1-1. Now with 9 hits for the night. Mcneil and Mesoraco back-to-back hits to start the 7th. Tyler Glasnow went 3 innings in relief, didn't give up a hit, but walked 4 and gave up an unearned run. And now Rodriguez working in the 7th. And Reyes takes a fastball away, 2-2. Ahmed Rosario waiting on deck. So Steven Matz done after 6. He allowed 4 runs on only 3 hits, matched his career high with 9 strikeouts, walked 2, and in line for his 5th win of the year. 2-2 coming, and Reyes pops it up. Infield fly rule should be invoked. It is, and Freese squeezes it 1 out. So Reyes retired. Here's Rosario up for the 5th time. Get a base hit and scored a run in the 4th. 1 for 4 on the night. Getting leadoff for the 4th straight game. And I would imagine if Rosario can continue making the strides that he has, maybe he will have a home as a leadoff hitter.
Well, remember, he was very comfortable in the 9-hole in the early part of the season. And he seems to like the leadoff spot.
I mean, his season on base percentage is only .292, and that's not going to cut it. But Cervelli being forceful with his pitcher.
I think he was crossed up, saying, "Come on, you're going to hurt me. I'll get one off my head. I've already had a concussion, been on the DL twice." Boy, good fastball. Here it is right here. Oh boy, he wasn't going to catch that.
He was looking for a curve and he got a fastball. And he was not happy.
What are you doing? What? Oh, he's hot.
Well, he's a very emotional player. We've seen that going all the way back to his days with the Yankees.
Now, he has an Italian father and a Venezuelan mother, correct? Is that what it is?
Well, there's a lot of ethnic Italians in Venezuela.
Yes.
Marco Scudero, same. Taken the other way, base hit for Rosario. Mcneil to third. He's being waved around. The throw coming to the plate from Polanco, not in time. RBI single for Ahmed Rosario on a 0-2 pitch, and the Mets extend their lead to 8-4. Well, how many hits have the Mets had on 0-2 tonight to drive in runs?
Well, I think we're seeing the Achilles heel of the Pirates here is their pitching. And I tell you what, Rosario nice and level on that up and away fastball.
Second hit of the night for Ahmed. Drives in his 27th run. Mets have scored in 5 different innings now. And here's Cabrera, who's had the biggest night of all. RBI double, 2-run homer. He's also drawn a walk, 2 for 3. This all started with the bunt hit by Mcneil. As Rocco hit one away from the shift, and now Rosario with an 0-2 pitch base hit to drive in a run. And Rodriguez again gets ahead 0-2, this time on Cabrera. Good signs for the Mets these last few days. Third straight day they've scored 6 or more runs. Mets are playing a little better this month, 10-9 in July. Baby steps. That one kicks away from Cervelli, and the runners move up to second and third. So a wild pitch from Rodriguez, and the Mets have 2 in scoring position.
Hard slider. Tough chance. He did everything he could to stay in front of it.
So now the infield will come in. A 1-2 count on Cabrera, with Conforto standing on deck. There's Rocco at third, Rosario at second.
Chance to blow this game out of the gym.
One-two coming. Little tapper up the first baseline. It'll stay fair. A run will score. Rodriguez gets the out at first, but Mesoraco comes in to score the second run of the inning, and it's 9-4. Fourth RBI of the night for Cabrera. So the wild pitch contributes to a run. Mets keep on adding on. Now Conforto, who's 1 for 4 tonight, doubled off the fence and right back in the first. Rosario at third with 2 out. And Michael takes up and away for ball 1. Well, the Mets have done a much better job of manufacturing runs these last few days, reminiscent of what was happening with this team the first 2 weeks of the season when they got off to that 11-1 start. That gets away from Cervelli. Here comes Rosario. The throw to Rodriguez, not in time. A short wild pitch, but Rosario had a big lead, and with his speed was able to score the third run of the inning. On the second wild pitch of the inning, it's now 10-4.
Well, that's just good alert base running by Rosario. And he does beat the tag.
Not sure he tagged him at all.
But he's in the position to score. There you go. He's on his toes. Good strong lead. Well done.
And now 3-0 to Conforto. Well, nobody who has pitched for the Pirates tonight has been particularly impressive. The starter Nick Kingham gave up 6 runs in 3 innings plus. Tyler Glasnow walked 4 guys in 3 innings. And now Rodriguez has given up 3 hits, thrown a couple of wild pitches, and now he's walked Conforto with 2 out. That'll bring Wilmer Flores up. First, we'll check in with Justine Ward for another game break. Nice job by Tommy Malone after a rough beginning. Wound up going 5 innings, giving up just the 3 runs he allowed early. Here's Wilmer Flores, takes a rip and comes up empty, 0-1. Tommy Malone subbing for Steven Strasburg, who's back on the DL, this time with a cervical nerve impingement. It's always something. Wilmer hit a 2-run homer back in the first, and he takes this one the other way off Bell's glove and into right field. Conforto will go first to third, and Flores stops at first base with an opposite field base hit.
Nice.
Just ticked off the end of Bell's glove.
Nice hitting, Wilmer. They are tattooing Rodriguez. They're not allowed out here. Just didn't get the glove there. And the beat goes on.
It's the 4th hit of the inning. And the 2nd hit of the night for Wilmer. And the Mets now with 11 hits for the ball game.
I guess Clint is conceding this one.
I'm counting up the pitches.
How many now?
163 pitches thrown by the Pirates, and it's only the 7th inning. Well, here's Nimmo, who's already been on base 4 times, 3 walks and an opposite field double. Conforto at third, Flores at first with 2 out, 3 runs already home in this 7th inning. And Brandon takes a fastball away for ball 1. Richard Rodriguez, who has had a fine year for the Pirates, having a very rough inning. Jeff Mcneil got the whole thing started with a bunt single. And Nimmo takes a strike, 1-1. Brandon, the 8th man up in the inning. Jose Bautista would be next.
Boy, Rodriguez is just came into this game with solid numbers, but boy, oh boy, are they tattooing him.
Fouls one away, 2-2. We talked early on tonight about this weekend being a litmus test for the Pirates and their management to try and figure out what to do from here. It's a team that was very much in sell mode until this recent stretch where they've won 13 of 15. Now hoping to be in the race, but not really sure. Swing and a miss. Nimmo is struck out to end the inning. This has been a rough night, though, for the Pirates. Mets put up a 3 spot in the 7th. Stretch time in Pittsburgh. On the riverboat, it's 10-4. old home of the Pirates, Forbes Field, where they played through 1970. It's on the University of Pittsburgh campus. I think it's now the medical school.
Yes, it is.
Site of where Forbes Field used to be. In fact, I believe that if you go into a closet in one of the buildings at the University of Pittsburgh Medical School, home plate is still where it was.
I think you're correct.
Matt Dendecker in to play center field. He'll bat ninth. Paul Sewald, his first big league outing in almost 3 weeks, and his first outing of any kind in a week.
Well, there's Paul's numbers. Hot start, kind of caught up with him a little bit. I thought he was a little overworked, to be honest with you, early in the year.
Sean Rodriguez up twice against Steven Matz, struck out looking both times. Interesting night for Matz, who started out giving up two-run homers in the first 3 innings, then retired his last 10 hitters. Wound up going 6, allowing 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 106 pitches. And Sewald promptly walks Rodriguez to lead off the home 7th.
Only gave up 3 hits. Mr. Matz, just 2 long balls.
Now Jordy Mercer, who's flied out and struck out 0 for 2. Adam Fraser is out on deck to be a pinch hitter with the pitcher spot due up next. And Mercer takes a fastball for a strike. Sewald's last big league outing was July 9th against the Phillies. Then he got sent down. His last outing for Las Vegas was on the 19th, a week ago today. Fouled at the plate, came up and hit Mercer. 0-2. Michael Feliz, next man up in the Pirates bullpen. Nets have never trailed in this game. They led 2-0. Pirates tied it on Freese's home run in the first. They led 4-2. Pirates tied it on Harrison's home run in the third. But then the Mets with 3 in the fourth, 3 in the seventh to build this 10-4 lead. Sewald misses down 1-2. Mercer takes one down the right field side, foul. Drive around the majors brought to you by Cadillac. Nationals have gone in front of the Marlins 6-3 in the 7th. Rhys Hoskins with a pair of home runs tonight. The Phillies lead. Braves though trail the Dodgers. Manny Machado homered for LA. Phillies a game and a half up on the Braves, 7 on the Nats starting the night. Line to third, one hopper to Mcneil, gets the out at second. Cabrera to first for the double play. Nicely turned, 5-4-3, 2 out and nobody on. So Mcneil, who failed to handle the first chance he had at third base, has handled the last 2 just fine.
Oh, the hot corner right there. Tailor-made double play. One hopper to Mcneil. Did everything, stayed right in front of it in 2 hands.
So it's been a good night for Mcneil in his first big league start. On base 3 times. Turns the double play. Now Adam Fraser, the pinch hitter.
Plenty of time for Cabrera behind the bag, and he knows that the runner cannot slide through the bag anymore. So when you're behind there, you're you're Teflon.
Driven to right. Bautista got turned around and he can't make the play. It one hops the wall. Fraser heads to second, and he's in standing with a pinch hit double.
Yes, he did get, yep, the wrong side.
Twisted like a pretzel. 5th double of the year for Fraser. So he's in scoring position with 2 out for Jordan Luplow. He has one of the Pirates' 4 hits, a single to right in the 3rd, scored in front of Harrison's home run, and he flies one foul. The 0-2 on Luplow. Two from Seawald, and Luplow takes a slider just off the plate. 1-2. Josh Harrison would be next for Pittsburgh. One-two coming. He fouls back the high fastball. Fraser at second with 2 out. 1-2 to Luplow. And now 2-2. Are we in Milwaukee or are we in Pittsburgh? I'm a little confused. I mean, I'm sure people love cheese in Pittsburgh, but you're not accustomed to seeing cheeseheads in Pennsylvania.
That's a Brewer fan then.
You think?
Or Packer.
Or maybe she's just very fond of cheese. Seventh pitch of the at bat to Luplow, and this is low and away, and Seawald, after getting ahead of the count, runs it full. 3-2 coming, and he fouls that one off. That one caught Mesoraco on the foot.
Mesoraco always hustling around. Oh, got him.
Yeah, that's worse.
He's beaten and battered, huh? Like a magnet,
and not in a good way, in an opposites attract kind of a way. Hard ball, soft flesh. That's that hit out to right field. Bautista chasing back onto the track, and it's over his head. It hits the wall and bounces away from him. Fraser scores. Luplow trying for third, and he'll make it easily with a run-scoring triple. The Met lead is cut to 10-5. First triple of the year for Luplow, the second of his big league career.
Too late for him to play it off the wall. A misjudgment there.
This is not the easiest right field in the league to play, and Bautista having a rough inning out there. A double and a triple, both hit over his head. Dave Island out at the mound to talk to Sewald before he faces Josh Harrison. So Sewald issued a leadoff walk, got a double play to erase that runner, but then a 2-out double followed by a triple. Jerry Blevins is up in the Mets bullpen with the left-hand hitter Polanco on deck. But first, Josh Harrison faces Sewald. Harrison hit a 2-run homer in the third against Matz, and he takes a fastball low for ball 1. So that fastball by him, and it's 1-1. And Harrison takes a slider off the plate, and they're just spitting on Sewald's slider.
Well, you can't get it over, and they're sitting on the old fastball.
That one catches the corner, and it's 2-2. And Harrison fouls it away. A hard-working inning for Sewald. 27 pitches already. We have seen a number of innings of this ilk for a variety of different pitchers in this game. That's at a 34-pitch inning back in the third. Again, the 2-2. And that's on the outside corner, and Harrison knew it. Side retired. So Sewald limits the damage to 1 run in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th with the Mets doubling up the Pirates 10-5.
Town of Alhambra. He was 11 years old when he faced his first overhand fastball, and as he grew, his skills developed on the diamond. It may be hard to believe, but Ralph's greatest asset early in his career was his speed on the baselines and in the outfield. Beatrice, his mother, wanted nothing more than to see Ralph head off to the University of Southern California, but she stood by his side when he chose to sign with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates great. Our great friend Ralph Kiner. Jose Bautista fouls one down the right field line. It's a fair ball. It hits inside the line against the fence, and Bautista pulls into second base with a double.
I thought that ball was fouled by a mile.
Well, Bautista able to keep it just inside the yellow stripe on that green outfield fence.
It stayed inside.
And that's how he greets Michael Feliz, the new Pittsburgh pitcher, with the Mets' 12th hit of the night. Second for Bautista. So he's aboard at second, and here's Jeff Mcneil, who's been on base 3 times with 2 walks and a bunt single.
Well, the Mets are just pounding the baseball. There you go.
Yep.
This angle up here, we're up high in this booth, higher than we're used to, and we're close to the field. It's kind of a different angle perspective. I thought that ball was foul here.
It'll be your second highest perspective on this road trip.
Yes, it will.
As we go from here to Washington, which is the highest booth in baseball. Here we are up there at the top.
You like this observation post?
Love it. It's like sitting in the upper deck at Shea.
Okay.
Grounded foul by Mcneil. So Jeff Mcneil, if you'll remember, night before last, got a base hit on the first pitch he saw in the big leagues from Phil Hughes. First Met to get a base hit on the first pitch he saw in the big leagues since Nick Evans, 2008 in Colorado.
A big day he had.
Remember that? He had 3 doubles that first game.
Yep.
And he's hit by the pitch. That one stung. And Mcneil is on base for the 4th time. This time in painful fashion.
Oh, elbow.
Got him on the protector, but it still hurt. So the Mets have the first 2 men on in the 8th. And now Mesoraco, who's been all over the place in this game. Walk, sacrifice fly, reached on an error, single to right. He's scored 2. He's driven in 1. And he takes the breaking ball down from Feliz, ball 1. Michael Feliz, former Houston Astro, came over in the Garrett Cole deal, along with Joe Musgrove, who's going to pitch on Sunday, and Colin Moran. And they've all contributed for the Pirates. Cole, part of that extraordinary starting pitching staff in Houston. Pirates this past winter traded really their 2 most recognizable players in Andrew McCutchen and Garrett Cole. Kind of started over, got off to a great start this year, and then fell near the bottom of their division before this latest hot streak has gotten them back into something approaching contention. Mesoraco drives one deep left center field. Back goes Luplow to the warning track over the shoulder. He makes the catch. Great play by Luplow. Bautista tags and goes to 3rd. But Jordan Luplow takes an extra base hit away from Mesoraco with a really nice catch.
That's a deeper part of the park right there. If not the deepest part of the park.
He was playing shallow.
He ran a long way for this, and Bautista to tag up. Let's see his read here. I guess he wasn't sure. He should have stayed halfway, but he.
So now runners at the corners with 1 out. And Matt Dendecker is up for the first time, looking for his first base hit of the season. 0 for 18 to start the year. Dendecker came on in the double switch in the last inning. Bautista at 3rd, Mcneil at 1st, and Dendecker lines one to right field. Polanco makes the catch, but Bautista will tag and come on home. And he scores on the sacrifice fly by Dendecker to make it 11-5. Not sure where Polanco was throwing that ball. Was he trying to throw behind Mcneil at first, or did he just kind of sail it in blindly?
I've got to see it again here. He's throwing behind the runner. And why was it that close at home?
Just because Bautista had to go back to tag, because he, on the line drive, his first move was toward the plate. So he went back to tag, and that's why it took him so long to get home. Here's Rosario, and he takes a strike.
So Dendecker can't buy a hit.
But he got an RBI.
Yes.
And no turn it back. So he's still 0 for 18.
Still hit the ball hard, and you can't buy a hit.
It's only a better at bat than some of the previous ones for Matt. Rosario flies one toward the right field line. Polanco gets over and reaches down to make the catch in foul territory, and that retires the side. But the Mets tack on a run in the top of the 8th. They've scored in 6 different innings and lead 11-5. Rough night for Nick Kingham. Steven Matz's night started about the same, but finished great. He retired his last 10, tied his career high with 9 strikeouts, and he's the beneficiary of an 11-5 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jerry Blevins on to pitch to Gregory Polanco. Blevins' first outing since the All-Star break. It's been 11 days since he went to the mound.
He's almost been a forgotten guy out in that bullpen. He did not have a good first half, as you can see by the numbers,
particularly against the left-hand hitters. And Polanco unloads to center, but Dendecker should have room and puts it away for the first out. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Verizon. The most awarded network is now the best streaming network. By Dodge, visit Dodge.com to learn more about our powerful lineup. And by Nationwide, speak with Stephen Principe in East Meadow or Steve Dukoff in Bayside today. One out in the bottom of the 8th, and David Freese comes up. Freese hit a 2-run opposite field home run against Matz in the first. He's also walked and grounded out 1 for 2.
Well, this was a seesaw battle the first 3 innings, but then the Mets just took this game over.
Helped out by some shoddy Pittsburgh defense, some shoddy Pittsburgh relief pitching. Matt settled in. Paul Sewald gave up a run in his inning of relief, and now Blevins trying to keep it where it is in the 8th. This is with a changeup to Freese, 2-1. Drew Smith is up in the Mets bullpen now. Mickey Callaway made the point today that as this season moves ahead, he has got to start finding out about some of his younger relievers, Smith and Tyler Bachelor and Jacob Rame. Those guys have barely pitched lately. He said you can expect to see them in some higher leverage situations as well as the season moves along, and why not?
Yep.
Gonna find out what you have. And the fastball outside, ball 4, and Freese is on base for the 3rd time. A 1-out walk. 4th walk given up on net pitchers tonight. Pirate pitchers have walked 8. Now Josh Bell, who's gone 0 for 3, struck out, reached on there, fly to right. Mets 11 runs, 12 hits. The Pirates 5 runs, 5 hits. And Bell skies one deep, but foul down the left field line.
That's a bomb.
3rd deck.
It's a long strike, Gary.
Just like taking one on the outside corner. Rounded down to 3rd, a chance for 2. Mcneil to Cabrera and on to 1st. 2nd straight inning, the Mets turn a 5-4-3 double play. And that gets Blevins through the bottom of the 8th. On to the 9th we go, 11-5 New York. Mets with an 11-5 lead as Asdrubal Cabrera, who's driven in 4 runs tonight, leads off against Michael Feliz. Cabrera, a double off the wall and right in the 2nd, drove in a run. A 2-run homer over the wall and right in the 4th, and then a ground ball that drove in a run in the 7th. 58 RBIs now for Asdrubal. The Mets with 11 runs tonight, and if you leave out Coors Field, which you know everybody scores a lot of runs there, it's the most runs the Mets have scored in a game since May 15th.
Wow.
2.5 months.
Well, that's why they're at the bottom of the heap in batting average and 14th in runs.
But not tonight.
Oh, they're getting ready for that blood moon tomorrow. Full moon. Lunar eclipse.
Is it really a blood moon? He interrupted our train of thought. We'll get back to that. Geico Sportsnet comes after the post game tonight. Deadline approaches in 5 days. Something about the Giants, something about the Jets, all coming up on Geico Sportsnet. Cabrera drives this one to right field, chasing Polanco back onto the track, reaches, and he can't make the catch. And Cabrera will go to second base with his third extra base hit of the night. Nice effort by Polanco, leaping against the scoreboard, but he came up empty. And Cabrera with 2 doubles and a home run tonight.
Look at his left hand, touched the wall. No, he did not. Oh, he had it and it popped out. Nice effort.
Feliz was hoping, and he goes to back up. So the Mets have their 13th hit of the night. Big night for Cabrera. Here's Conforto, who's 1 for 4 and a walk. And that one gets away from Cervelli, and over to third goes Cabrera. Third wild pitch of the night for the Pirates. 8 walks, a hit batsman, 13 hits.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Couple of errors. It's been a very rough night for Clint Hurdle's team. They had an 11-game winning streak stopped yesterday, and they're getting pummeled tonight. Doing some of the pummeling themselves. Infield in, 1-0 to Conforto. And Michael takes up and in. 2-0. Conforto lifts one along the left field line. Luplow into foul ground and sliding to make a catch. Holding at third is Cabrera. Second outstanding play made by Jordan Luplow in the last 2 innings. The first one going back to the wall to Rob Mesoraco. This time coming a mile into foul ground to make a terrific play on Conforto.
Beautiful sliding catch, but watch him pop up and make the strong throw. That's just a nice play.
Well, I can already tell he's a better outfielder than his great Uncle Al, who didn't catch Buddy Harrelson's inside the park home run. Jordan Luplow, he can catch the ball. 1 out. Here's Wilmer, and Flores takes inside ball 1. Pitcher spot due up next for the Mets, and Phillip Evans is out on deck to pinch hit. Watch SNY Mets games on the go on any device with live streaming presented by Verizon. Just visit SNY.TV or download the NBC Sports app today for live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. Flores loops one foul, and it's 1-2. Michael Feliz working his second inning of relief, gave up a run in the 8th. Trying to work around a leadoff double in the 9th. And Wilmer flies one to center. That'll get the run in. Rodriguez gets under it. Cabrera can walk on in. Another sacrifice fly for the Mets, their third of the night. Flores drives in his third run of the game, and it's 12-5. WB Mason post-game live follows us. Apple and Figueroa in the studio. Gentlemen.
Phillip Evans will bat for Blevins. Phillip Evans.
We look forward to all of that. Now Phillip Evans pinch hits with 2 out and nobody on. And a half swing, and he foul tipped it, 0-1. Evans appeared as a pinch hitter yesterday and had an RBI single. And he slashes one foul, and it's 0-2. Well, there's hard throwing Drew Smith up in the bullpen. Looks like he'll get the last of the 9th. Scored 6 against the Pirates starter Nick Kingham. They've scored 6 against the Pittsburgh bullpen. An unearned run against Tyler Glasnow, 3 runs against Richard Rodriguez, and 2 against Michael Feliz in an inning and 2/3. And Evans lines one past the glove of Freese. And for the second straight day, Phillip Evans delivers a pinch hit.
Nicely done, Phillip. Fastball in, just out of the reach of Freese. But this was quick hands inside.
This is what we saw last year from Phillip.
Yep, I like him.
At over 300 in his limited trial with the Mets last year. So now Bautista gets another turn at bat. He's 2 for 5, a single and a double. 14 hits now for the Mets tonight. Statcast AI powered by AWS. Cervelli able to stop that ball in the dirt. 2-0.
Cervelli comes off the DL and he's got a lot of work back there.
He had a great throw to gun down Nimmo on a stolen base attempt, but he's had 3 wild pitches squirt by him. And Bautista pops one up. Bell and Cervelli looking at it, and Cervelli dropped it. Bell probably could have come down to give him more help. But that'll be an error on Cervelli, prolonging the time at bat.
That's the first baseman's ball.
Third error of the night for the Pirates.
A Pirate team during their 13-1 run, or actually their 13-2 run, only made 3 errors. He made 3 tonight.
It's been pretty dreadful tonight. Bautista getting another chance, fouls one away, and it's 2-2. Jeff Mcneil, who's been on base 4 times tonight in his first big league start, would be next. Bautista pops this one up, and that will go out of play.
This is one of those games when you're out in the field and you're on the losing end. You're just like saying, God, let's come on, pitch. Let's just get these guys out. Don't walk anybody. Live to fight another day.
Slider in the dirt, 3-2. Evans will be in motion. 3-2 coming to Bautista. And it's on the inside corner. Bautista hopping mad. John Tumpain punches him out for the 3rd out. Mets tack on a run in the top of the 9th and lead it 12-5. Panel of insiders breaks down the latest Mets and Yankees news on Baseball Night in New York, presented by Tri-State Cadillac Dealers, tomorrow at 6, only on SNY. Last of the ninth, fourth big league outing for Drew Smith, trying to get the final 3 outs. Phillip Evans will stay in at second base, and there's Mr. Smith.
There's his numbers also in 3 games.
Mr. Smith in Pittsburgh, but later on the road trip, Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Here's Francisco Cervelli, who takes a fastball for a strike. Not Jefferson Smith, Drew Smith. Cervelli 0 for 3 tonight, struck out, grounded out, popped up. And the curveball from Drew, low and away, 1-1. Jerry Blevins worked a hitless 8th. Paul Sewald gave up a run in the 7th after Steven Matz pitched the first 6. First 3 not so good, last 3 terrific, and Matt's in line for his 5th win of the year. And Cervelli hits one off the fists, and Evans is there to catch the pop up, 1 away. Smith acquired from Tampa Bay last year, the deal where the Mets dealt away Lucas Duda. Here's Sean Rodriguez, 0 for 2 and a walk tonight, and he takes a fastball for a strike. That's last year when they traded away their veteran players, got a plethora of hard-throwing young relievers, and they're hoping that some will become useful members of that bullpen. Smith hoping to be one of those. Jacob Rame on that list. Jamie Callahan came last summer, although he's been hurt this year.
Good breaking ball there. Not a strike, but a good hard over the top breaker.
Another jam job, and it's popped up. Mcneil over to get it in foul ground, and Smith's retired the first 2, jamming both hitters.
Throws hard.
So 2 out and nobody on, and the Pirates are down to their final out of the night with Jordy Mercer coming up.
Shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Mercer tonight is flied out, struck out, and grounded into a double play. He lines one into right center, and that'll keep the Pirates alive. Now all the way back to the warning track, and Mercer cruises into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, there you go, not giving away an at-bat.
6th hit of the night for Pittsburgh.
12-5, 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Do not give in that. At bat. Excuse my pronunciation there. My grammar, my vocal skills.
Here's Adam Fraser up for the 2nd time at a pinch hit double and scored a run in the 7th. Stayed in play second base. Well, yesterday the Mets won a rubber game from the Padres. It was their first series victory since the middle of May. Middle of May was also the last time the Mets won 3 games in a row, which they're 1 out away from doing tonight.
They have a winning record, Gary, for this month.
If they win today, they'll be 11-9.
Just saying.
Doesn't sound like much, but the way things had gone the previous 2 months,
Well,
it's a huge step in the right direction.
that June was just a nightmare.
May wasn't great either.
But June was horrific.
June, the month of swoon. Line the other way. Fraser keeps it fair into the corner. That'll bring in a run. Mercer scores. Fraser to second base, his 2nd double of the game off the bench. Back-to-back 2-out doubles for the Pirates, and it's now 12-6 New York. So after Smith retired the first 2, he gives up a pair of 2 base hits.
Oh, there you go. That ball's down and away and going right with it.
So this game not dying easily. Jordan Luplow will try and keep it going. Luplow's had a terrific night, a single, an RBI triple, 2 great catches in left field. In just his 5th start of the season for the Pirates. Pirates will hope to have their 2 ailing starting outfielders back tomorrow. Corey Dickerson and Starling Marte both out with injuries. Dickerson a hamstring, Marte a bruised hand. Both had been raging hot, but the Pirates, they don't have an enormous rally in them. Are about to lose their 2nd in a row after winning 11 straight. Luke takes the curveball outside 1-1. That's what those guys have done lately. Marte has a 17-game hitting streak and just tearing it up during that stretch. Dickerson as well, a huge piece of this Pirates' recent success.
He wouldn't have. Why didn't he lose his 17-game hitting streak?
He did, because he got hit by a pitch. No official at bat.
I did not know that.
Grounded to the left side. Rosario comes in to get it, and the ball game is over. Nice stretch by Flores, and Drew Smith finishes things off for the Mets. Gives up a run in the 9th. Steven Matz gets his 5th win. The Mets put up a ton of offense. Big night for Cabrera with 3 extra base hits and 4 RBIs. Jeff McNeil gets on base 4 times in his first major league start, and for the first time since May the 21st, the Mets have won 3 games in a row as they beat the Pirates 12-6.
Well, Steven Matz, the starting pitcher, gets his record back to 5-8. Think getting you back to 500, Mr. Matz. You're throwing good enough to do that. His numbers aren't great today, but that's just the 2 2-run home runs. You take those away. I thought he threw terrific here.
Game summary brought to you by Fidelis Care. Mets putting up a big offensive number tonight, most since they were in Colorado, and if you go back further than that, most since the middle of May, as they bring up 12 runs and 14 hits, and they overcome the Pirates 12-6. For every Mets win, the Mets organization is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Katz Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. This win brings the total contribution so far this season to $107,500. 12-6, the Mets win their 3rd straight victory. More coming up from Pittsburgh in just a moment.